think my things were planned properly. But this tragedy that happens to me, it takes me back, and that means that I need to own up to it and try to fix what I can, and try to live with what I have.
Welcome to it. It's Sports Night Amplified with Andile. I am Andile Ncube. A big shout out to Tebow Touch and Loot. They've got to be the most stylish pair on the airwaves, huh? What about coordinator, boy? Timmy, we need to start thinking about what we wear. You saw Touch and them were in all black. The other day they were colorful. Touch and Loot. So we need to coordinate as well. Yeah, pajamas even, all of it. We need to coordinate. Malcolm, so Paluk Rupin. Welcome to it. It's going to be an exciting one. A Throwback Thursday, of course, as we do normally here. We're going to be speaking to a man that we're supposed to have a conversation with last week, but the conversation went prior to that. It took a lot of our time, and I thought it unfair to then invite him on for a couple minutes when his story deserves an entire hour. Rodney Ramagalela, former Mamelodi Sundowns, Black Leopards, Polokwane City, Chipa United, Golden Arrows, Amatax even, and Highlands Park, Highlands Park as well. He's going to be joining us from his home in Venda, Njerere, where he's from. We're going to be talking about everything, man. Has he retired? Has he called it a day? What does he make of all the rumors that have circulated in and around him? What's he doing with his time now? And how's life after everything he owned got burnt down in that house? He built the most beautiful home for himself and his family. It burnt down to ashes. You remember that story, right? And he got some help as well after that. I think a lot of people got together and were able to assist him. Was he able to rebuild that house? And what about his life? Has he been able to rebuild his life since then? Remember, on a Thursday, it's never about the sport. It's about the person. All of us, at some point or another, walk a very tightrope of life. We have downsized things. We have, the cold end of the stick, so to speak. What picks us up? Ramaji, he'll tell us about his particular story. 13 after the hour 6. Welcome to it. It's Sports Night Amplified with Andile on the mighty Metro FM. Please help me welcome former Mamelodi Sundowns, Black Leopards, Polokwane City, Golden Arrows, Amatax, and so many more. Highlands Park as well. Player, a striker who is just nothing short of amazing during his career, playing for all those teams, scoring goals. At some point, I remember he was a leading goal scorer when he was with Black Leopards before he came to the professional leagues, doing absolutely fantastic to make sure that he is seen in his career. I think he scored just over 40 goals, all in all, just over 40 goals. 3 matches that he played for Bafana, if memory serves me well, rather for the under-23s, if memory serves me well. Rodney Ramagalela. Rodney.
Inda.
What do you mean?
I
know, good to have you, my boy. Are you well?
I'm at home now in Venda.
In Njerere?
Yes.
I hear stories about Njerere, man. I hear there's so many stories about that place.
What did you hear, man?
I heard that there's a breathing rock there. There's a rock that breathes. Do you know about that?
I've read that stories too.
But there's a fountain of hot water. Like, it comes out hot.
Yeah, that one I know. People, they bath there every time. So, it's God who has done that, man. We find it like that, so we are blessed in general.
No, truly, and you're one of the best talents to come out of there. Before we even start, when I was introducing you, I didn't know whether to say former footballer or current footballer, because, I mean, at 35 years old, most and a fit guy like you could still be playing. Have you retired from football?
I haven't announced.
You haven't made the announcement, but have you? In your heart, in your mind, do you still want to play?
I don't know, Andile, because so many things have happened to me, so I don't know what is what. So I need to make up my mind and decide whether I want to call it a quit or I continue now.
So it's a decision you still need to make?
Yes.
What will weigh or sway it one way or the other? What are the considerations for whether I'm quitting or I want to play again? What are the pros and cons? What are you weighing out?
Honestly, I would have loved, if I'm saying I'm retiring, to go out in a respective way. you know, as a footballer who played so many years. But that one, it looks like is not going to happen because of the way things are on my side right now. But honestly, I would love to go out in a respectful way.
When you say the things the way they are on my side, how are things on your side?
I'll be very honest with you, Andile. When that fire thing happened to me, it was not only about a house. It was someone's life was burning in that house. That's why I'm saying it. If things were different, I would have loved to go out nicely. But the house thing, it was something terrible to me as a person. It was not about something that was inside the house. It was the life that was burned, you know.
Geez, I'm once again, I'm terribly sorry for that tragic accident at your home. I think it was in 2021 when your house did burn. It's I can't even have words for it, Rodney. So that's affected you to such a point where you just don't feel like you want to play anymore.
Yeah, because playing, it needs concentration and it takes a lot from a player. If you are not really concentrating in the game, that means you're not going to deliver as your employers wanted you to. That means you'll be letting the team down. And if you are honest enough, like myself, I think you will be honest with yourself and say, you know what, am I fit enough to go and play? Am I fit enough to take the challenge now? But the answer on my side, it's no at this point, because I need to sort out myself as a person, understand?
Rodney, and just for clarity point of view, because when I was reading up about that story when it did happen in 2021, I wasn't aware that someone actually passed on in the house.
Before that, Andile, my mom passed on in 2019.
Yes.
And that's the same year that my daughter passed on also. She was burnt by the fire. I was told. I didn't know what happened. The whole story, I don't know anything about that, but I was told after she had passed on, not the daughter passed on. So you can tell from that there were so many things that was going on. But as a human being, I didn't see it because I didn't understand what was going on.
Jeez. Rodney, I'm terribly sorry. I mean, you've really had it, and I guess this is 2021. You're still a professional player. That impacted you at the time to a point where you just couldn't anymore. I think when that happened, you were with Chipa?
No, I was at
Leopards.
Highlands Park.
Oh, were you at Highlands Park?
Yes.
So this is 2019, 2020, going into 2021.
Yeah, it was 2019 going to 2020.
And you just haven't been able to recover psychologically from that?
While I was still trying to recover from that, I got an injury where I had to go for ankle surgery in 2020. I think it was February. Then I went and do surgery on I think it was 21st of March. So you could tell I had to go through many things in short space, you know.
So how does Rodney deal with these things? What does he do psychologically? Do you have a excuse me? Do you have a psychiatrist you go to, a psychologist you go to? I know with us, especially Batswang Mahai, those things are not things we're used to. But how do you then cope? How do you go on every day with such, your daughter, your mom, your house? How do you go on?
Tell you, Andile, I didn't have time to go to psychologist or talk to anyone about these things because I didn't understand what was going on while I'm trying to get better from this one. the other one is coming. So I have to deal with the other one that is coming. When I'm trying to deal with this one, the other one is coming again. So you could tell and see how difficult that is, Andile. And I ended up saying, you know what, let me take one day at a time and see how far I can go.
Were you ever able to rebuild your home?
I didn't, Andile, I'll be honest with you today. I didn't. However, I got a donation from Hollywood where Robert Malao had, and I can tell you today that was the only donation that I got from people.
But Rodney, and I'm just asking here because I don't know better, right?
Yes.
I would assume a player that played for the teams that you played for, Sundowns, you went in there, was a big deal. You were a striker extraordinaire. I would have assumed that you had some money, some savings, that, you had money that would last you long in your life, or, savings that would be able to assist you. So when you're saying donations, I'm thinking, does this mean that Rodney didn't save, doesn't have money?
Ramagalela never had money. Ramagalela never had money. When I was playing, Andile, I think we should be honest today.
Mm.
When you're playing for Black Leopard, remember you're getting 2.5 when you start.
2.5? 2.5 what?
2,500 rand. You are playing for Black Leopards. They are still in NFD.
They were still in the NFD. So is this a month? 2.5, is it a month or a game?
A month.
Okay.
And remember, you come from a family where your father is blind, is getting grant, and you are five in the house. It's 5 children and the mom and the father. You can't really survive with that. But because you are taught to survive with what you have, you need to make up and make sure that you live with that.
But then things got better, Ramaji, because you then went to Sundowns.
We can say that things get better. But remember, when you grow up, the responsibility, they're on your shoulder, because remember, you are the only person that has to provide, and you need to better the house in the family. We are living in a 3-room while we are 5. There's a sisters that have to go to school. You're the only person. You need to build your own house. You need to save for yourself. You need to look after yourself and your kids also.
Were you at any point, Rama, and I use Sundowns because we know Sundowns to be the benchmark for finances in South Africa as far as paying. Were you at any point, at least one could say, yeah, when he was there, yes, a lot of the money went home, but at least he was a millionaire. He made money from football.
No, I never made $1 million in football.
Ever?
Never.
So hence, once you were done, or after your last contract, there was nothing coming in and there was no savings because you never made that much money.
I was smart. My plans were in place when Andile. I had a few projects that I was pushing on the side.
Mm.
If you can remember, I said to you, when the house got burned, it was not the house that was burning, it was my life.
Hmm.
And the people that can relate to this story, they'll tell you, when they burn your house, that means that everything that you have, it has to go away. I don't know where it went. I don't know where everything went. I had 2 businesses that I was dealing with when Andile.
What business were they? What were you doing? What sort of business?
I was having one truck that took things from Joburg to Zimbabwe.
Okay.
That truck just got accident, and it was beyond repair because of the chase. The whole chase was tight, was cut in half.
And the other business?
The other business was the bricks business. I was doing the bricks this side at home.
Forum.
Yes. All of a sudden, that business never operated because there was no customer.
Hey, Rama, because I looked at it and I said, we need to speak to this person because I want to know why at 35 when, South Africans are speaking about strikers. Once upon a time, the brightest young striker to come out from, the Ncube Foundation Championship, the NFD, then goes to Sundowns, goes to all these big teams. What happens to a player like that? Why does he just disappear? But there's a lot that you need to work through in order to be psychologically okay. What are you doing right now?
I'm busy with some small teams here at home. I train players so that they can get better while they're still young. So that's what is keeping me busy this side.
But there's no money in that. You don't. I mean, yes, you're giving back. You're helping young players, but there's no financial reward for that.
No, there is no financial reward on that, because I can tell you when Andile, I have tried several things, but it seems like I'm failing. When I try something, it works for 2-3 months, then it stops. I don't know what's happening.
You're a traditionalist guy, right?
Sorry?
You're a man of traditions. You believe in traditions. You believe in, dilo tsa kgale, dilo tsa botho.
I believe in what works.
So when you make sense of everything that's happened to you, because it sounds to me like you're saying, Andile, it doesn't matter what I do, nothing works out for me.
That's what I'm telling you today, Andile.
So you don't want to try anything because you feel like it doesn't matter what you try, it fails.
I'm a man who always tries something new, something that someone comes with, anything that comes, and I'm ready to do it, even though when I know it's not gonna work. But I have that faith. You know what? Sometimes it's not about me who decide whether it works or not. It's only God that decides. That's why I keep on trying everything that comes my way.
I had a conversation with you, I think it was about probably 4 or 5 years ago on the radio. I was still at Radio 2000. And I remember saying to you, and when you were explaining about your father, because that was your hero. Your dad was your hero. You loved your dad so much. And you said to me that even when you do the post-match interviews, you always speak Kachivenda, simply because your dad, who's blind and can't see you, can at least hear and understand what you're saying, because he couldn't speak English, correct?
Yes.
Because you guys were, that was one of your best relationships. You were so close.
So close.
And then I think I remember you bought your dad a car, and you got him a driver so he could get around.
Yes.
Where's your dad?
It's also.
When did Pa leave us?
Sorry? Last year, May.
So this is why you must feel like everything is just not going right for you. Family, your daughter, your mom, your house, your businesses, your dad now. Injuries to you. Which is the last? You had an injury when you were cheaper, correct?
Yes.
What was that? Was that the ankle or was that the knee?
It was the knee.
And you went through all the processes. Are you fully recovered now? Are you injury free as we speak?
No, I'm fully recovered now.
But I wonder, man, when I Rodney, because the teams that you've played for, some of them pay very handsomely, and you weren't just a young player. No, you were an elite player. So I wonder, when you say you never made real money, I wonder, why is it? Is it because your people who negotiate on your behalf didn't do a good enough job?
Andile, I wouldn't want to blame anyone on this. No. Whether a team or my manager, no. I think I had so many things to do. For me, my family, my kids, my house, it's something that I don't know how to put it, but at some point I can say I'm a person that puts other people first.
Mm.
You understand? Because my mom raised me like that. Well, you know what? When you are here, you need to come and pick up your sister. It should be where you are in life. And I believe in my family I have done that, because my sister, she has a diploma, which I contributed massively to it, and the other sister, she's working permanently at the correctional service, and the other one, she's working on the other side. So I think I've done a good job to make sure that they have a decent life,
What about Rama? I mean, yes, I hear you, and I'm the same. I've got younger sister, younger brother, my mom, and I'm that person. I want everybody to be all right, and I look out for them. But what about you? What about me? What about you, Rama? When are you going to start thinking about you?
When Andile, to be honest, as I'm saying, my things were properly planned. You could tell with the house, or the guy has planned these things properly. You could tell with the businesses, the guy has planned these things properly. As you know, we don't decide what happens next. Only God decides what happens. And what happens to me, yes, it's something that we can say, hey, Shem Rama, Mara, those type of things. I think my things were planned properly. But this tragedy that happens to me, it takes me back, and that means that I need to own up to it and try to fix what I can, and try to live with what I have.
If you just joined us, we're speaking to Rodney Ramagalela, a prolific striker in his time. He hasn't yet retired, only 35 years old. Is back home in Njirere in Venda. And just speaking about, his life over the last couple of years, which has been like almost an insurmountable peak that he's had to look at. But it's the positive spirit and energy that he exudes that we speak of. Rama, I want to pick your mind on something else as well. It would never affect you when people would look at you and say, "Hi, this one is an age cheat. There's no ways he's as old." I remember when you were playing at the under 23 level, when you were coming up, there was a lot of those conversations to say, "No, this one must tell the truth. That's why his injuries, he takes so long." Do things like that ever affect you? What is your answer to those that say you're an age cheat?
I'll start by this, when Andile. When it's a black person, the only thing, the only person that can say those things is a black person. We take down our own because of something that we don't know. I don't know whether it's jealous or we just wanna disturb the person, or it's our way of doing things, or getting many followers. It's something that whenever people say to me, because I know myself, it never disturbs me. It never gets to me. Because no one really knows who Ramagalela is. No one knows my mom. No one knows my father. I never get disturbed with that when Andile. I only hear that, or you know what? We only talk about age when it comes to a black person, but when it comes to white, we don't question their age. We say, you know what, that guy is huge. That's the only thing that we say when it comes to white. But when it comes to a black person, we say, no, that's age cheating. When are we going to praise the talent and make sure that we encourage our own to do better and become better players and become top players that plays overseas?
Let's take a quick break, Rama. Yeah. I didn't, I thought you and I would have a laugh a minute because I know how you are. I enjoy your laugh. But I think it's important that your story gets told. So let's take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, Ramagalela is with us. Welcome to it. It's the Mighty Metro FM, Sports That Amplified with Andile, speaking to one of my favorites, a man who I've had many conversations with over the years, or conversations about over the years, Rodney Ramagalela, who joins us now from his home in Ncube. Rama, do you believe in traditional things? Like, did you go cleanse yourself and do all those traditional things after this bad luck had fallen on you? How did you deal with it traditionally, maybe?
To answer you, Andile, I've done literally everything, whether it's Christians, whether it's traditional, whether it's everything that you can think of, a person that can do when it's in the same situation that I am. But I can tell you, nothing seems to work.
So now because you're still thinking about this career that you might want to carry on, is there somebody out there knocking at teams and saying, guys, Rama's available?
I'll tell you a story. In the last 6 months, I think I've received, I've received 6 calls. That is speaking about giving me a job. It can be the ambassador, it can be something else that is related to football, but not a team where they want me to play. They can call me today and say, you know what, we'll come back to you, we'll discuss 1, 2, 3. I never came back.
So, I know a lot of people that go on to hate football because of what it did to them. When you sit back and you say, I played for so many years, I played with the biggest teams, I won a trophy. Pito's first trophy, I think, was with you, if memory serves me correct, that first league. I think that was with you in that team. And then you have nothing to show for it. What is then your perception of this football thing?
God gave me football, and I can't hate football because of something that is happening to me that has nothing to do with football. One day my son will want to play football. I can't say to him, don't play football, because football has done this to me. Football never done anything to me. When Andile, football never done anything to me. I can't hate football today. Football has made me what I am today. I might not have something to show, this is what I've done when I was playing football. There's only one person that knows what happened, and that's God.
Rama, how close were you to Coach Pito?
We were very close because Coach Pito was like my second father, because I was always with him in training. And I'll tell you something today when it's Sundowns, I was always injured. There's one thing that he told me and say, Rama, where you came from, you didn't have this type of education that we're giving you here. I will advise you to learn while you are here. because that's the only thing that can help you grow in football. And I can tell you, when Andile, now I've learned from Coach Pito and all the players that were there at Sundowns. That's why when we left Sundowns, I became another player that I was not at Sundowns. It's because of the lesson that I got from Coach Pito and the Sundowns team.
He's not in the country at the moment. You know, of course, he's out in Saudi.
Yes.
But when we told him that we're speaking to you, he asked that we send a message to you. Can I play that message from Pito?
Please, I love that.
Hi, Timmy and Andile. Thank you for hosting Ramaji, the boy I believed in. Oh, what a player. A good man, a good person, hard-working player you can rely on, never miss training. I'm happy that I got him to Mamelodi Sundowns. He won the championship with us. He's got a championship medal, and I convinced him to come and win a trophy with us, and he won the championship. Not many players retire with that championship medal. I just want to wish him all the best. He must keep going. He must fight. He's still strong. I know he looks after himself and he looks after his body. So thanks for hosting him. What a good guy. Yeah, unfortunately, he lost his house. What a tragic moment. You know, to lose a house that you built with your own money is not easy. Yeah. Anyway, I hope you have a good show with you guys there. And I never congratulating you for winning the radio awards for the sports show of the year. Well done. Regards to Andile and everybody on the show. Keep going, keep doing the work. Thank you, Timmy, for letting me know that you're hosting Ramagalela. Ramaji.
Andile. I'm out of words, man. Receiving that from Coach Pito, I really appreciate.
It's not the only one. The other coach who wanted to come on and say something is your coach at Highlands Park, ODG. I don't want you to ever think or feel that you're forgotten or you're alone. You're not forgotten. You're not alone. The history you created is one that people like me tell stories about all the time. Have a listen to this.
Hi, Rodney Ramagalela. This is Coach Owen de Gama. It was a great honor for me to have the opportunity to work with you. You are a born leader. You could come at any time and give your introspection as to where we are before the game, after the game. Really a true born leader. And I wish you all the best. I'm sure that the influence you've left on a lot of players, including players like Kolisi that have gone on and played for Sundowns, you've left an indelible mark on quite a number of players, not only at Black Leopards, but at Highlands Park, especially with me, and moving on to Chippa and Sundowns as well. You left an indelible mark there. So we'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for the contribution you've done to Highlands Park during my tenure there, and as a South African coach, to really thank you for your contribution to football in South Africa. You are a marvel to watch. When you're on top of your game, nobody could stop you. You scored some incredible goals. I'll never forget one of the last goals you scored for us at Highlands Park was against Golden Arrows in Durban. It was a great goal, and you just changed the whole game for us. We'd like to thank you for that, Rodney, and don't forget that you've left your mark on South African football. And I'd say thank you very much. God bless, and we're wishing you the best of luck in future.
You're loved, man.
Yeah, and I'm really honored today to receive those praise from Coach Owen. Those are good coaches, believe me, when Andile, and it was nice to work with them. You know, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I know. You know, it's those things, Rama, and you know, for those listening now, they might be thinking, I see somebody like, hey, but you wanted these things to be told. You wanted your truth to come out there. You wanted, you know, for this to be known. And there's a lot of people listening now who are just so proud of the work that you did. I know at some point you feel like your back is against the wall a little bit here. And there are people, you know, what is Rama on a day-to-day, Rama, to get your bread, get your butter, get your food, get your dinner? How are you making a living now? I mean, I know you work with the kids to promote, but how are you making money? How are you making a living? Because football and your two businesses were all that you were doing. How are you making a living now?
As I said, I'm not making any money at this point. My sister, she's trying her best as I'm talking now to make sure that we have food in the house that we can eat, even though it's not enough. But we are used to manage things as a family, and I can tell you that's what we are living with now.
Ofani Munyai is one of the journalists that we work here with a lot, and he tells me that you guys are quite close.
Very close. Actually, he's one person that always checks on me. Only.
Because the phone doesn't ring anymore. No one calls anymore. No one says, hey, what are you up to? Hey, come here, come there. It's just quiet at the moment.
As I said before, when the house got burned, the whole football profile of Ramagalela was burned down. That means really, I was a person that was living after his house was burned down. Understand? You could tell how difficult it is for people to think about the person that his house got burned and the life got burned at the same time. No one will ever think about the person who is broken when Andile. One out of 10 will think about that person.
Well, it's not true, because there are those, and that's why you're here. That's why we called and checked up on you. There are people that think about you, Rama. There are people that wonder about you, you know. When we speak about strikers who are South African in particular, you were the next great hope. You know, we all wanted Rama to do well. We all wanted Rama G to one day, you know, go to an AFCON or whatever to represent South Africa. So thinking back now at just your footballing career as a player, do you think as a player you achieved what you were talented enough to achieve? Are you happy with what you gave? Do you look back at your talent versus what you did and you achieved and you say, yes, this was the best of me?
Look, when there was one thing that I could say I wanted to do. It was to play for Bafana, the senior team. It never happened to me. That's something that I would have loved to do, just to represent my country in the biggest stage of AFCON, your qualifiers of World Cup. I would have loved to do that. Unfortunately, it didn't happen to me. Whether I was in top form or what, it never happened to me. I don't know why, but I would have loved to do that. But otherwise, I think I was a person that loves to score goals. And I think given that opportunity, I'll go in and score goals and make sure that the team wins. I think I've managed to do that, and also find myself topping the chart with top goals, top goal scorer. I think I've done that in the NFD and the top flight also. I would say I've done very well for myself when Andile.
If you just joined us, Ramagalela, Rodney Ramagalela, as he's famously known, speaking to us. We're catching up with him, really. We're catching up with him. I've got a caller who would like to speak to you, Rodney. I've got a feeling he's going to be a familiar name to you. Bro Alex.
Hey, Andile.
Oh, grand, Bro Alex.
All right, how's it?
Hey, you're a stranger, man.
You've got a legend in on the phone with that legend, eh?
Alex Bapela, Ramajikyu, he can hear you.
Hey, Ramagalela.
Coach.
Orina.
I'm the only one.
Ron, man. Rama, just like you said, I know you from long time, and I heard stories about you when you were playing for Lopez. I was at Dynamos as a coach, and when you were at Lopez, you were such a big player. You know, people are talking about Steve Hompela being called. Everybody who was in Turkey was from Africa was called Hompela, even though they couldn't pronounce it very well. Everybody who was playing for Black Leopards during your era at Black Leopards was called Ramagalela. Even the ones who didn't know, Sugar Mabunda, his testimony to that, they were even calling him Rama. Rama, you were so big, and nobody made you that big. You were born big, and you can still be big. At 35, you are still very young. You still have a whole life ahead of you. Just pick up the pieces, start from where you started before you started football when nobody knew about you, and you're going to pick up. By the time you are 50, you'll be a different person altogether. Never give up. Don't look down upon yourself. You're still the Rama that we know, and you are still going to make it big in life. All the best, my boy. Thank you, Andile.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much, Coach. Former Sundowns player there, Alex Bapela, and now Coach, speaking to Ramagalela there. Rodney, I mean, don't you think if you're saying I'm not retired, I'd love to play still, don't you think it's if you want something, you should put yourself out there, say, hey, people representing me, get out there, let them know that I'm still here, I can still play, and I'd like to play. And I understand that it feels tough at the moment and you need to deal with it mentally, but if you're saying I'm not retired, I want to still play, should you at least not be knocking at doors and saying, guys, somebody give me a trial, somebody give me a shot?
Yeah, look, Andile, I've told my guys to do that several times. The response that I got from them, it was the teams are looking for younger players to come in and help the team. That's the response that I got from my representatives. Even myself, I've tried to contact the people that I know to at least give me the opportunity to see if they will love the players that they will see in training. They still say the same thing, to say, you know what, we're looking to get a younger player to come and do that and represent the team. I would have loved to advertise myself in that way. And if there is anyone that is listening that is willing to offer me the opportunity to go and play, I'll take that opportunity.
Well, I'm hoping, I know a lot listen when I Rodney. I'm hoping that somebody who's listening out there, there's not a great deal of nines like yourself, strikers like yourself, and I'm hoping that somebody needs someone like you who's hardworking, humble, but also great at what they do, but also with all the experience that you have to help others out. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for telling us your story. And more than anything, it's easier said than done. Everybody that's called in saying, hey, keep your head up. Hey, keep going. I know it's hard, but you sound like you're in such a positive space. It doesn't rain forever, Rama. It can never rain forever.
Absolutely.
So let's hope when the rains stop, which I'm hoping they've already stopped, you'll have fertile ground to begin to plow into them the rest of your life.
Thank you so much, Andile.
I appreciate you always, my brother.
Thank you so much, and thanks to the listeners.
Rodney Ramagalela.
Good evening, Andile and the team at large. You're speaking to Patochedzo Baudu from Mamvuka village, where Ramagalela is from. We'll stay literally 3 cities away from each other. You probably has an idea who we're speaking to. Andile, what a well-respected man, what a humble man. Andile, This guy shook Mamvuka, man. He took our village by storm when he moved from All Stars to Black Leopards, from Black Leopards to Mamelodi Sundowns. The community was buzzing. What a well-respected man. The tournaments he would host, the tournament he hosts till this day, hoping that scouts will come through and see the young ones. He deserves to be celebrated, and kudos to him. And I want to say congratulations for the career he has had thus far, for a man who hasn't retired. Andile, I moved to PE and I was hoping I'd see him someday at Chipa, but unfortunately I'd go to all events. Andile, they would say, Ramagalela is injured. Ramagalela is injured. But Andile, thank you for celebrating this man. I want him, and I would love for him to know that he's very much loved. And we are truly sorry for people like myself who come from the same village as him. We understand. We know what he's gone through and what he's going through. May God please be with him. Thank you.
Hello, Kintabiseng Mobreze. Andile, how are you? Ramagalela bakovuana. Thank you very much, Andile, for bringing Ramagalela at Metro FM after so long. But the story sa Ramagalela, I'm so heartbroken in many ways. Ramagalela Kintabiseng, I admire Ramagalela so much. But then Geremudimugo Ramagalela, you'll stand again. Thank you very much.
Gotta get out of here. But yeah, it's life, isn't it? And here's what we never know as fans. You know, we just see a player not having a good game, not having a good day, and we say all sorts of things. And some of those things that were being said to Rama, that he addressed now, with his age thing, where people would say that to his face, not knowing that back home, this man is in a dark hole. So just be kinder. Be kinder to players. Be kinder to people. We're all going through something. That's it for today. Pela. Antomi.